when God speaks to David, it's just like he speaks to all of us. Like he speaks to you in the way that you understand. That's what I love about God so much, is that he doesn't have this overarching, schematic way that he only deals with guys one way. It's like he knows your passion, my passion, your passion, and he knows how you understand and interpret things. So instead of confusing you, he brings it down to where you are.
So this project is, we have been talking about it, it's been long, so I'm so happy to actually be part of this project, as I'm just thinking of the first time when Ray Hughes, as Michael said, Ray Hughes asked him to go out and play for that person with the, headstock of the guitar to play that. It was back in, I don't know, God knows, 10, 20 years ago. And from that point until that actually happening now, it takes a while to get the dream comes true, or that that what God's placing in his heart to actually become a reality. So in our expertise, we come together to put this project together, and that becomes actually healing all the sickness and diseases people doesn't even to how to treat. The medicine just don't do any good, so it actually restores inside of the soul, so that heals it, and incredible. So I'm being a part of this project is just it's just blowing my mind. So incredibly that I'm happy to put our effort into this project to get work.
It's something new for me because it's something that these guys have really studied a lot more into.
I love your beard.
And it's really kind of a ride for me, because like I came into it just kind of feeling like I don't know really what I'm supposed to do, because everything's about the frequencies, and drums and stuff are a little bit different, that don't carry notes and stuff. You can tune them, but it's really been a cool ride, because just learning about what different frequencies do. Michael's got everything down as far as like what they actually do for the body, what they actually do for the mind and stuff, and it's really cool to be a part of and think about how it's going to affect people. Because like as a musician, sometimes you can get into just like, oh, that's cool, sounds cool music, but someone who is not a musician, or somebody who just was not a part of that project, puts it in, and it literally takes them to a place that it never took me, because I was just focused on making it, and it's cool because sometimes you don't really realize what you're actually doing. So it's it's been a cool ride, and I'm excited to kind of hear just the testimonies that are going to come out of it and stuff.
King Saul was oppressed by demonic spirits. That's what was happening. And other people came and played music inside Saul's court, and he just threw them out in their ear because nothing happened. Every time David would come, he would instantly be delivered from that bondage and that feeling of oppression. And it was more than the fact that David was just a good man, and it was more than the fact that David was a talented musician. What was more important was that David's key was different from any other key that was being played. And frequency is just like when you listen to your FM radio. Maybe you've called into a business and they put you on hold and the radio station was off a little bit, and it drives you crazy because you can kind of hear music, but there's more noise than signal. It's the same way just like with music. We don't know what's available because most of it's been hidden from us, but certain things that we do know is that in the temperament of that tuning was peace in the midst of chaos, and there was an arresting of darkness and oppression. Peace came when David would play, and so I think probably the most important thing is that All we're really doing is bringing back frequencies that have been removed from music that used to do wonderful things. Back in the days of the Gregorians, people they were thinking that it was just some kind of traditional old school religion, but actually if you read the accounts of the early Gregorians, it was actually an exciting time to be in the church, and nobody fell asleep at church, and people that came and got around the Gregorians, people were getting miraculously healed when they would sing. But of course, we have people that didn't think disclosing that information would be good for the populace, so they squelched it. Over 155 hymns that we've never heard, that we know of, that are in the Vatican Library, that aren't available to the public, and probably a lot more than 6 frequencies, I would guess. We just know of 6, including 528 hertz, which actually has been proven by doctors, physicists, biologists to extend telomere length in the DNA chain, which is what we would call life extension, and then to go a step further and to repair broken DNA, which is the source of disease. So it's not a question of whether or not the frequencies work. The bigger question is, why would the church take them away from everybody? Why would the church be responsible for stealing music and stealing power because of greed, religion? It was too holy for men to hear. Where have we heard that before? Hence Martin Luther having to have a Bible written in Deutsch, so the hierarchy told the people that the Bible was too holy for the common man. And Martin Luther said, that's ridiculous, so I'm going to create a Bible for the common man. Jesus gave his word to everybody. Jesus gave his music to everybody. And people over the ages have hidden that music away from people, and so there's people that have died and spent a whole lifetime and never heard one of these frequencies in their whole life. They've never heard them. They didn't know they existed. So we are going to reform that. We're going to bring that back so people can experience things that they've never heard before. And it doesn't mean that the music is going to be any better. The music is the last part that is important. The most important part is the frequencies that we're going to be introducing in the project. And then that's the cake, and the rest of it is just the frosting that all the musicians, we put that together and frost the cake. So anyway, that's what the whole thing's about, is restoring things that have been stolen. And we're believing that when this is released, that it in itself, it's going to release healing again and do all of those things that we know that those frequencies are capable of doing.